Hi everyone, I'm Manuel Bossard, and as Rainer said, today we'll be speaking about sliders and slideshows. So I'm going to begin by explaining the sliders. The slider is this thing here, this summary thing you can see here. It's a column with all your titles, the titles of your articles that slide automatically. You can, oops, you can click on, you can tap on each title. It will bring you directly to the correct article. Here I click on plugin and there I am. If you put this slider on the first page, you can go back to it directly by clicking on the content button here. For the My Kiosk side, I think that is all. Now let's see how we do it on InDesign. So here I am on my first page on InDesign. I'm going to do the delete this frame. So the slider, to assign a slider, you must have an empty rectangle frame. So I put it here, and you must assign a slider which is here, and then it's all very simple. There are not many options. You just have to you can just display the title of your article and display the description of your article. These settings, the image, the title, the description, you can set them here. Oops, it's this project. You can set them in the article settings. You can find it here by clicking on this button. It will show this menu, and the settings are here. So here you can see that I've put a title for my article and also a thumbnail. This thumbnail is very important. The slideshow will not work if you don't put thumbnails into your article settings. So you can see that all my articles here have thumbnails. So here we have decided to create custom thumbnails with Photoshop and include the title directly in it. So we have this result. The title is not added by the plugin. If you want to just make thumbnails with only an image and no text, you can add the title that will appear just like this on a white and a black banner at the bottom of the thumbnail. You can also make the description appear. So that's as simple as it gets. Just remember that the slider really needs a thumbnail in for each article to work. If you don't, you won't show your article at all. So that's the main constraint here. So I'm going to get back to here and show you the slideshows. So this is the ZAV we've made to demonstrate the different slideshows we can have. So you can see that you can make a variety of different things with one enrichment. I think the slideshow is the enrichment that is the most complicated and the most complete one, because you can do so much things with it. So I'm gonna start pretty simple by this kind of slideshow, which is a slideshow that does not have automatic sliding. You can just slide the image one by one, and you can see where you are in the slideshow thanks to this little banner and these little dots, white dots on the bottom. So let's see in InDesign how does it work. Just have to open the file. It's gonna take a little bit because the file is big. Let's go here. Okay. Here we are. Here. Okay. Here I have my slideshow. So the thing you have to understand for the slideshow is that you can assign it to an empty frame. You don't have to have an image in it. All the content is managed by this content tab and this content list. So you have to add the content one image by one by clicking on this file button here at the bottom. I'm gonna switch to another example here. You can see here that this is my frame that handles the slideshow, and it doesn't have any image in it. So you have to be you have to understand that the content of the InDesign document does not show the real content of the slideshow. Everything happens in the slideshow parameters, in the slideshow settings. So here you can add content, add images, anyway. Yeah, now it appears in my content list. Each image can be cropped. You will notice that the crop area takes the exact same size, same aspect ratio that the frame of the slideshow. So if I change the frame here, put it half size, and then select another object to refresh the palette here, to refresh the panel, you can see that now my crop zone has changed. It has adapted to the correct to the size of my frame. So that's quite convenient. To to remove an image from the content list, you just have to click on this minus button. It will directly remove it. So I'm gonna refresh this so you can, yes, go back to the original shape. So in this other tab, you can enable automatic animation of the slideshow. This is what you can see here, for example, on these two slideshow at the bottom of this example. The images change automatically. So of course the tap and the swipe are still available, but if you don't want to, you can prevent this by disabling this option. This option enables scrolling, makes the scrolling available. So if you only want the animation and not the scrolling, just click on enable animation and disable the scrolling. There are two transition effects, the swipe and the fade. I think the swipe is this effect that is available on scrolling, and the fade is this effect that just appeared. Now the duration is in milliseconds because all the durations on iPads are in milliseconds. Of course, seconds would be more easy to use, but it's a constraint of the iOS devices. Now the Can Burn Effect tabs. Can Burn Effects is a type of pan zoom effect that you can see here at the bottom, the right bottom of the corner. You can set the settings available in the Can Burn Effect are, of course, the duration of the translation, I will say, of the pan scan effect, which is here 5 seconds, and you can also add a delay between each effect. For example, I think here the delay is 0 because you reach an image and the Can Burn effect starts right after the change. But here you can add a delay if you want the animation to pause on an image and then start the Can Burn effect. You can also change the amplitude of the zoom applied to the image. You can see here that the zoom, it's quite low. I think that zoom is 10% maybe. On another, I've had a zoom of 20% on this other slideshow, so it's more radical here. Now let's see the options, the enable full screen options. That's quite obvious. You just have to double tap and you can see your image in full screen. Now there's another option that is linked to the full screen option, is the use background in layout. That means that for normal full screen, oh, that's not a one. I'm going back to the home. Here, for example, if you double tap here, you can see that there is a green background here because the image doesn't occupy the whole screen, so you can the full screen has a background, and you can set that his color here in the cell background color. Here it's in black. You could see that in the other example it was green. But if you check the use background in layout, then the cell background color is grayed. That means that you won't have a background. You will see the article behind it. And also with the background color, you can also change the alpha, which is the transparency of your background. Enable scrolling I've already explained, and the page control. The page control is this banner with the little white dots that show the user where which image is displayed. You can see here that you can also, instead of the white dots, you can also display some text at the bottom of a slideshow. So this text, you can add it in the content tab. There's another inner tab that is the caption tab, and you can show enter caption, for example, text caption, and it will be shown just like here. Keep in mind that you have to set a caption for each content. For example, if I change the image selected here, you could see that the caption changed. It is now white. So test 2, for example, and this is text caption test 2. So you can have a caption for each image of your slideshow. And the last thing I think I haven't explained is the action tab. You can apply assign an action to each image of your slideshow. The best is to add tap action. For example, you want to show which websites. So in the slideshow you will have screenshots of your websites, and if you tap on the screenshot, you can add a go to web action and show the real website in a pop-up, for example. So you have a lot of interactivity available here with the actions. Now I will just go a little backwards because I haven't explained the thumbnails here. So I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to show what the thumbnails are and what they do. So when you create a slideshow, here you have two options. One, simple slideshow, which is this kind of slideshow, and you have the slideshow with thumbnails, which is this kind of slideshow. So here I'm going to create a slideshow with 4 thumbnails at the bottom. So you can see that the IV interactivity plugin automatically created 4 buttons. These frames are buttons with the tap actions that has been created. This tap action leads to content ID 344, and the ID 344 is the ID of the main frame of my slideshow. So here I'm going to add some images. Okay. Oops. No, a little slow. I have added 2 images, and you can see that the images I've added were not automatically inserted in the frames of my thumbnail, so I have to add them manually here. So I'm resizing because the image is quite big. So here I have to add them manually. That's something we couldn't do because of technical constraints, and that's it. You have to remind that if you want your thumbnails, your slideshow thumbnails, to show your images, you have to add them manually. But that also means that you're not you don't have to show the same images. You can make a custom button for example, and you can for example you can just I will just delete this one and create an ellipse frame tool, an ellipse, make a round button. This here, I'm going to add my image here, and of course here I'm in an AVMag project, so if I keep it like this, the AVMag project won't be able to show it on my kiosk. But so I have to use the 2-image interactivity and assign a change content index. I have to select the main frame of my slideshow to say that the button will modify the slideshow, and choose the index of my content. So here in the slideshow, the index number 1 is my first image, And here in this button, you can see that the index is number 1. Here, the index is number 2. It's going to show the second image. So this is how it works. The number of the first image on top of the list, and it goes on second, third, etc. I think I've shown everything that was needed.
I would like to thank you again for taking the time to attend this web seminar, and I would like to thank Manuel to do the presentation and the demo today. And with that, we hope to see you soon again on any of our other web seminars. We will continue this series with 1 or 2 every week in the upcoming weeks, and we hope to see you there.